Let's take a look at how to configure service checks in OmniCenter. First, I'm going to go to the dashboard of the server that I would like to set the check on. I'm going to click on Edit and then go to the Alerting entry. Service checks can be added by clicking the Add Command button. In this case, I'm going to check that the SSL certificate assigned to my server has been issued by the correct authority and is not yet expired. Each different kind of check is going to have different parameters that require you to add. However, description is universal. This is the actual description that will be sent out when an alert regarding this service is generated. It's important that it be easy to distinguish. Then I'm going to put in my parameters. Under the configuration options, I can control how these alarms are filtered, generated, and sent. Alarm hours allows me to pick the time of day or day of week for which it is valid to send these alerts. And the system will come with several of these timeframes pre-configured, but if I want to add additional timeframes or customize the ones that are here, I can do so under administration by going to alerts and then to timeframes. The alert after controls the timing of this alert. So this builds in how many times to recheck as well as how often to check this particular service. And there's a number of presets, or I can actually go in and set custom timers. In custom timers, I can control how often the check is run, if it fails, how often to recheck it, and how many total failures before generating an alert based on this service check. So in this configuration, I'm going to check it every 3 minutes. If it fails, I'm going to check it twice more at 1-minute intervals until it has reached a total of 3 failures. And at that point, I'm going to generate a notification to the contact group or groups that I've selected here. Once I've selected my contact group, they're going to get notified as soon as I reach that maximum number of failures, provided that the failure isn't caused by a host or network outage. OmniCenter, when it detects a service outage like this, is going to do an out-of-band check on the server that it's running on and all of the parents of that server to verify that the problem is actually the service and not a connectivity problem because a switch is out or a router is out or a WAN link is down or the server itself is crashed. Assuming that all that is okay and the server is actually up, I'm going to generate an alert to the contact group here, or however many different groups that I decide to select. Once I pick those groups, the re-notification interval tells OmniCenter how long to wait before notifying those groups again. And optionally, you can set an escalation threshold here that will cause it to automatically escalate to additional groups after a fixed number of re-notifications. So for example, if I want this to notify once per day until the problem is dealt with or acknowledged, and then escalate if the problem isn't dealt with within a week to an additional group, I can easily configure that. The statistical group controls what column on the at-a-glance screen will be turned red when this service goes critical. So most of the time you'll leave that set to status. You can also enter any notes here if there are specific information that you want to associate with this service outage, and these can be included in the outbound notifications. Once I'm happy with my settings, I simply hit Create Monitor command, and the service check will be added to the system. If I want to add service checks to multiple systems at the same time, I can easily do that by going to Administration, Alerts, and then go to Service Monitoring. This will allow me to select a command that I want to add to multiple systems at the same time. So if I want to run that same configuration and run it on all kinds of different devices at once, or put it on all of my Windows servers, for example, I can easily do that as a single operation. I can also add those service checks in as a template so that all of the servers of a specific type will receive that check automatically as they are added into OmniCenter. Thanks for watching. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact Netrio support.